Before we begin our class, let us have Brahmanad. Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Swastha. Good morning, children. I wholeheartedly welcome you all to our spoken English class. First of all, what do you mean by spoken English? See, if I speak in Odia, or if I speak in Telugu, or if I speak in Kannada, or any other language other than English, will it be called spoken English? No, it will not be called spoken English. But first of all, why do we speak? We speak because we want to convey some of our thoughts, some of our feelings, some of our emotions to our people. That is the reason why we speak. If we communicate our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions in Odia language, or in Telugu language, or in Bengali language, or in Kannada language, or in Malayalam language, it will not be called spoken English. But if we communicate our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, our ideas in English language, then it is called spoken English. Now, why or what do we do while we speak? While we speak, we use either words or phrases or sentences. Clear? To communicate with others, what do? We use either words or phrases or sentences. Most frequently in our spoken English, we use either words or phrases, but very rarely or seldom we use sentences. Before going through words, phrases and sentences, let me tell you an incident that happened in my life. One day, a boy named Rabi came to him and requested me to teach him how to speak in English, as he wanted to improve his spoken English. Being a teacher, how could I deny Rabi? I wholeheartedly accepted his request and assured him that I would try my best to improve his spoken English. First day, Rabi came to me and I tried my best to teach him only one word. That is yes. That is yes. So Rabi could learn only one word on the first day, and that was yes, when he came to me to improve his fluency in English or to improve his spoken English. Second day, he came to me also. Hardly I could teach him another word, that was no. Clear? But he was very happy, as he thought that he had improved his spoken English after learning only two words, yes, then no. Then he came to me on the third day, and I could teach him, thank you, thank you. Clear? Thereafter, he stopped coming to me as he thought he had improved his spoken English. Then he went to his school. In his class teacher asked Rabi, have you done your homework? Rabi proudly answered, yes, ma'am. Then ma'am said to him, then show me your copy. No. He didn't understand the use of yes, no or thank you. But he could learn, or he learned only the words, 3 words, yes, no, thank you. When he said no to madam got angry and thrashed him, gave him black and blue. After getting black and blue from the man, he said to his ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Let me tell you another incident that took in the life of Rabi. Then he thought, oh, ma'am is better. That was the reason why I could not communicate with her. Let me communicate with the boys in the hotel. He went to take his tiffin at a hotel. In the hotel, when that boy came to him and asked him, sir, will I bring a dosa for you? Of course, he was not said in English, he was said in the Odia, but Rabi said yes. So dosa was served to Rabi. After eating dosa, he was given the bill. And when the man asked to pay the bill, he said no. The owner of the hotel got angry and he got thrust from the hotel owner. After getting thrust or after getting black and blue from the hotel owner, he said, thank you to him. See, this way of learning English language or this way of trying to improve spoken English will not help you at all in your life. You must go thoroughly all the chapters that we have made in our foundation course to improve your fluency in English or to improve your spoken English. As you know, most frequently what do we do in our spoken language? Either we speak Odia or Telugu or Tamil or English. We use words in Odia also. If we are asked, where are you going? We don't say, I am going to college. Simply we say, college. Isn't it? So, we use words, or sometimes we say in phrases, to college. But we never say, I am going to college. If you say simply words or in phrases or in sentences, that will do. But you should know all the things thoroughly. Words, phrases, sentences. Clear? What is a word? A word, you know, is a combination of letters. Combination of letters having some specific meanings. See, we the human beings think that we are superior to animals, we are superior to birds because we have the language. And while communicating, what do we do? We use language. And while we use language, either Odia or any other language, we use words or phrases or sentences. Clear? So what is a word? A word is a combination of letters having some specific meanings. Birds and animals also communicate with their fellow beings. But it is very clumsy, very difficult to understand. But we the human beings have invented words and have invented letters. And each letter has a particular sound. And when we combine a few letters that form a word or words to get specific meanings. Clear? So what is a word? A word is a combination of letters having some specific meanings. Similarly, what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words. A group of words that don't have subject and predicate of its own, but a group of words having some meaning. When we say to college, or where do we play? In the field. Or where do we read? In the library. These are phrases. A combination, a group of words having some meaning. Clear? Similarly, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words arranged properly, having a subject and a predicate of its own. A group of words having a subject and predicate of its own and convey complete meaning is known as a sentence. So what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words having a subject and a predicate of its own and convey a complete meaning, a complete sense, a complete meaning. So what have you understood? A group of words having a subject and a predicate of its own and conveys what? Conveys a complete meaning is known as a sentence. So what have you understood? In spoken English, we use either words or phrases or sentences to convey our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings to others. Isn't it? Now, let us go through the sentences. Clear? Sentences. How many kinds of sentences are there in English? There are 3 kinds of sentences. Sentences are of 3 kinds. 3 kinds. Clear? What are they? They are number one, simple sentence. Number 2, complex sentence. And number 3, compound sentence. You have understood what is a word. You have understood what is a phrase. You have also understood what is a sentence. What is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words having a subject and a predicate of its own and conveys what? A particular conveys a complete meaning or a complete sense. And how many kinds of sentences are there in English? In English there are 3 kinds of sentences. What are they? They are simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. Do you know what is a simple sentence? A sentence that has a finite verb. That has a finite verb is known as a simple sentence. A sentence having a finite verb is known as a simple sentence. And what is a complex sentence? A sentence having a main clause or a principal clause or an independent clause with one or more than one subordinate clause is known as a complex sentence. So what is a complex sentence? A sentence that has one main clause and one or more than one subordinate clause or clauses is known as a complex sentence. Now come to the third one. What is a compound sentence? A sentence having two or more than two coordinating clauses joined by coordinating two or more than two coordinating clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions. Clear? So what have I written here on the board? What is a compound sentence? A sentence that has two or more than two coordinating clauses combined by coordinating conjunctions is known as what? A compound sentence. Understood? So sentences are of 3 kinds. What are they? They are simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. What is a simple sentence? A sentence that has one finite verb. Clear? A sentence having a finite verb is known as a simple sentence. And what is a complex sentence? A sentence that has one main clause and one or more than one subordinate clause or clauses is known as a complex sentence. And what is a compound sentence? A sentence that has two or more than two coordinating clauses or independent clauses joined by coordinating conjunctions is known as a compound sentence. Besides two or more than two coordinating clauses, they may be having some subordinating clauses also. Now let us go through the simple sentence. Simple sentence. Clear? So what is a simple sentence? A sentence having a finite verb. What do you mean by a finite verb? A verb that agrees with the number and portion of the subject and tense of the sentence is known as a finite verb. Again I repeat, what is a finite verb? A verb that agrees with the number and portion of the subject and tense of the sentence is known as a finite verb. For example, I go, but he goes, she went. See, here subject is first person singular number. So in present simple, what do we use? We use go. And when the subject becomes third person singular number, the verb changes even if it is in simple present. Goes, he goes. And when the tense of the sentence changed from present to past, simple past, it becomes went. So go, goes, went. Go, goes, and went is known as the finite verb. Understood? So what is a finite verb? A verb that changes its form as per the number and person of the subject and tense of the sentence is known as the finite verb. Clear? And remember, there are three persons in English. What are they? They are first person, second person, and third person. Similarly, there are two numbers in English. What are they? They are singular and plural. Clear? Three persons. What do you mean by first person personal pronoun? The person who is speaking, the person speaking is known as the first person personal pronoun. The person or persons is or are spoken to known as the second person personal pronoun. The person or the thing that is spoken of is known as the third person. Remember, the person speaking is known as the first person. The person or the persons spoken to is or are known as the second person. The persons or the thing or things are spoken of is known as the third person personal pronoun. Clear? Similarly, we have two numbers, singular number and plural number. A simple sentence is again classified into four kinds. What are they? They are, number one is assertive. Number two is interrogative. Number three is imperative. Clear? And number four is exclamatory. So these are the things that we use while we communicate in English with others. So we must be having thorough knowledge on these things. Then only we can speak correctly our English language. So what is an assertive sentence? A sentence that makes a statement or a sentence that declares. It is also called declarative. Clear? Declarative. A sentence that makes a statement or declares something is known as assertive sentence or declarative sentence. A sentence that asks a question or makes a question. Where are you going? What are you doing? Are you reading? These are the interrogative sentence. Sometimes we ask while communicating with others, do you read sincerely? Are you studying sincerely? How are you? Where are you going? What's your father? These things we ask in English, in spoken English. We don't use simply the statements or statements like, oh, I am a student, I read in +2, or I do this, or I do that, I play cricket, I read novels. Isn't it? We make sometimes statements, sometimes we also ask questions. And when we ask questions, the sentences are called interrogative sentences. Clear? And sometimes what do? We make requests. We make requests, or we command, or we pray something. Then we use imperative sentences. When we advise to our younger brothers and sisters, we say, study hard, study hard. See, it is also we use in our spoken English, study hard, don't go there, shut the door, put on the light switch. Are we not using? Yes, we are using all sorts of sentences. So sometimes in our spoken English, we not only make statements or we not only declare something, but also we ask questions, but also we advise or we request, we command or order something, then we use imperative sentences. And sometimes what do? We exclaim our astonishment, our joy, our sorrow. At that time, what do? We use exclamatory sentences. Suppose your friend failed in the examination. We feel sad, and instead, what do? We say, alas, my friend failed again. If my friend won, or if my friend passed in the examination, we express our joy. We say, bravo, hooray, my friend stood fast in class 10 examination, or my friend secured 95 or 97% in class 10 board examination. Isn't it? Similarly, we make also statements. And remember, an assertive sentence is again divided into three kinds. What are they? They are affirmative. Number two is negative, and number three is emphatic. Clear? What have you understood? A sentence that makes a statement is known as an assertive sentence, or a sentence that declares something is known as a declarative sentence. Again, an assertive sentence is classified into three kinds. What are they? They are affirmative, negative, and emphatic. And what do you mean by an affirmative sentence? When we agree with a statement, the sentence is said to be an affirmative sentence. Clear? When we affirm, A-F-F-I-R-M, affirm means agree. When we agree with a statement, the sentence is called affirmative. And when we do not agree with a statement, the sentence is called negative. When we lay emphasis, or when we put more emphasis or more weight to our sentence, then the sentence is called emphatic sentence. Let me give you examples of affirmative, negative, and emphatic. I believe in God is an affirmative sentence. I do not believe in God is called negative sentence. I do believe in God is known as an emphatic sentence. He knows the answer is an example of affirmative sentence. He does not know the answer is an example of negative sentence. He does know the answer is the example of emphatic sentence. Let me give you another example, clear, of affirmative sentence. We, the students, study hard, affirmative sentence. We, the students, do not study hard is the example of negative sentence. We, the students, do study hard is the example of emphatic sentence. So, in our communication, we do not use only one kind of sentence, we use different kinds of sentence, we use different kinds of moods. In sentences, what do we use? Sometimes we make statements or declare something, sometimes we ask questions. Questions are also of two types. What are they? One is double-edged question. And another is auxiliary question, yes or no question. Do you study hard? Yes, I study hard. Are you going there? No, I am not going there. What are you doing? I am just watching a film. What is your father? My father is an administrator. But see, when we put what question? How are you? I am fine. We are not getting yes or no answer. Are you well? Yes, I am well. Are you studying hard? Yes, I am studying hard. Or no, I am not studying hard. So auxiliary, when we make questions with the help of auxiliaries, we get yes or no answer. And when we put double H question, we do not get yes or no answer. So sometimes in our spoken English, we also ask something. And while asking something, we use interrogative sentences. And when we make a request, or when we give an advice, or when we give an order, at that time we do not use assertive or declarative sentence or interrogative sentence. Rather, we use an imperative sentence. Study hard, my boy. Take care of your health, my child. Don't do that. Isn't it? So, when we give advice or order or make a request, we use imperative sentence. And when we express our joy or our sorrow or our astonishment, that time we do not use assertive sentences or interrogative sentences or imperative sentences, but we use exclamatory sentence. Oh, how beautiful the moon is. Isn't it? So various kinds of sentences are used in our spoken English. So we have gone through today the simple sentence, and the remaining two we will go through in our next class. Thank you.